Okay, this is Kevin Sorgi. I'm a doctoral student at the School of Education at Liberty University. I'll be talking to you about blended learning, linking the education gap, implementation and assessment of multimedia tools. The aim of this research is to uncover the individual inequities of learners with disabilities in learning environments with typically developing students as teachers look to address instruction through blended learning. A benefit of blending learning highlights students' resourcefulness in changing learning experiences to unlock new paths for their growth. When learners have the ability and opportunity to learn anywhere and anytime, it permits them to a feeling of autonomy. Blended learning, applying digital tools in the learning environment is vital and needs to be used in the learning system. Graham describes blended learning as systems combine face to face instruction with computer mediated instruction. Digital education is the advanced use of digital tools and technology during instruction and e learning. Exploring the usage of digital technologies allows educators to um, design engaging learning opportunities in the courses they instruct. Technology enhanced learning instructional inequalities. The foundational issue is that bringing learning technologies would impact student engagement. There are numerous times when the selected learning technology was only would only fit a small number of students at a time. During instruction time, it is so imperative that educators engage with students during the learning process. In addition, when using learning technologies, educators must practice offers student engagement and interface with their peers. Heimquist Lenquist described the gap between the use of digital technologies in society and their use in the learning environment due to the educator's lack of support and guidance. Additionally, technologies are constantly forward moving, creating more advanced learning technologies and digital modernization accessible in society outside of the learning environment. The technology divide, access to the World Wide Web. The technology disparity is the broadening of an achievement gap involving learners who have availability to digital technology tools and those unable to access to digital technology tools. A considerable challenge is the lack of access to the World Wide Web. In addition, it has created especially inequality in low income families who do not have broadband access to complete out of school assignments. A digital technology gap due to the lack of high speed internet is a worst case scenario. Adolescent learners cannot conduct classroom projects, do homework, or can remotely collaborate with peers and educators. The high speed internet disparities are evident over 50% of the African American families with children and 40% of Hispanic families with children from the ages of 6 through 17 who are categorized as low income don't have that opportunity. And teenagers are more often forced to use their cell phones to attempt to complete their homework. Blended learning, we go back to that. Implementing digital tools in education has a crucial role and should be utilized in a learning system. In recent years, digital tools have been specifically created with the classroom in mind, such as learning management systems and student response systems, which have started to take a strong hold in the learning environment. Digital technology based education is one method for implementing technology applications in education and instruction. In the area of worldwide or integration, it is effortless for the educator and the learner to connect to find an internet connection due to the spread of digital tools and the World Wide Web. We can find access public libraries, schools, um, coffee shops. And actually, there are zones in this area that you can go free of charge outside to use the internet. Blended learning continues. Students can be active learners and move through the curriculum at their own pace. Additionally, blended learning promotes student engagement. In the past, learning through traditional teaching, students due to the individual gathering information, only with less engagement in the curriculum. Distance educational opportunities are starting to unlock the door to learning for those students who could not attend a general academic brick and mortar school. The linking of distance learning and mainstream classroom learning sets up a collaborative, learner focused model. Online helps educators and students access pertinent curricular materials anywhere there is an internet connection. The core issue for a gap and a gradual implementation of learning technology is the absence of professional development in instructional technology tools. Research has showed that less than 20% of elementary school educators met the requirement for highly qualified digital technologies that can foster collaboration. 21st century learners look at digital technology as distinct as instead of correlating it to males and females. Instead, learners' expectations are such that digital technology tools can be implemented for many reasons. And here we give you the variation of what classroom learning and online learning. So you have classroom learning, motivation, one-on-one feedback, personal time, progress tracking, guidance, assessments, that face-to-face time. And blended learning gives you the time to self-study, the mobility, self-direction, tracking and control, online assessments, group chats and discussions. So it's a melding of both environments. So you have the face-to-face brick and mortar, and you have the virtual classroom. Academically and intellectually, the educator's function is vital for any instruction and curricular materials linked to the course and crucial to the successful use of blended learning. The relevant application of blended learning enriches teaching and knowledge retention. The insertion of blended learning permits collaboration among educators and learners, instrumental in engaging the students' attention with various digital tools and techniques for curricular element distribution. Educators can creatively design in a blended learning setting by using a variety of digital learning templates in the traditional impersonal classroom design, while having a chance away from the school to use that virtual setting. In this style, interaction supports collaboration among the learner and educator. Overview with students with disabilities. Students with disabilities make up the most significant culturally diverse minority on the globe. Unfortunately, the learning outcomes for this subgroup are dismal. International learners with disabilities are unlikely to achieve fundamental literacy skills and are more prone to severe poverty throughout their adult life. Several practitioners in the field of special education agree that inclusion or the least restrictive environment are the foundational building blocks afforded to all students with learning disabilities and their families. Student engagement and disengagement in technology enhanced learning. We're talking about online e-learning or virtual learning. Several recent students have conducted that teachers did not offer adequate support in using digital technology tools for learning. Students have reported that teachers do not support digital technologies. Several recent studies have concluded that if teachers did not help students' digital technology for learning, they may use these tools guided by their initiative, which is shown to be less beneficial. They'll use the tools for watching gaming or um, YouTube videos, or talking to one another on other social platforms, social networking platforms. High school learners drop out in completion with disabilities in online courses. Students with disabilities who drop out of high school before graduation work and make less money, and as a result, give a smaller amount of money to the overall economy. At issue is that the learners with disabilities endure lower completion rates and are more prone to being a high school dropout than not receiving any special education services. Students with learning disabilities, when given the chance to have alternative learning settings in both traditional or online learning, these learners received help from expanded options in the customization of their education. Students with learning disabilities were more likely to obtain a high school diploma based on their individualized education when allowed to have a personalized learning strategy. Active partnership between peers and teachers actively engages the learner in the curriculum. This method of collaboration drives instruction with the proper encouragement and digital tools from educators to assist learners with varying abilities across both traditional and blended learning communities. They are accomplished through cooperation, individualization, and validity as benchmarks. In addition, the instrument component is the structure of team building. Furthermore, the next crucial element of ethically diverse and passionately accommodating teaching in remote learning is customization, which facilitates personalization of the educational setting over focused instruction and digital tools that permit the student to interface with the content in a linked method. In addition, utilizing both technologies empowers students with varying abilities to make independent decisions on what to examine within a specific topic and delve into issues that matter to them. Access and inclusion of students with disabilities in virtual lesson. Collaboration is a robust framework that that directs teachers with learning disabilities across virtual and traditional learning environments. Active collaboration between learners and educators permits students to engage in the curriculum and individual sessions. The constructivist structure utilizing encompasses the teacher's active collaboration during the whole class or small group or even some individualized sessions. Whether face to face in traditional classroom or in an asynchronous online instruction distribution formats, collaboration necessitates active engagement from the teacher and students to form a connected learning environment. Remote learning and special education. We're looking into the future of remote or virtual learning continues to flourish and blossom and will continue to be the backbone of education. Acceptance of the newest technology of virtual learning with proper resources such as newer devices and broadband internet and training in the form of um, professional development with dealing with digital technology or digital tools will facilitate better involvement of blended learning within the school. Remote learning is also a way to reach students who are unable to attend due to medical or discipline issues. Consequently, special education teachers in both elementary and high school were tasked with educating students with learning disabilities, emotional and behavior disorders, and autistic spectrum disorders, both in traditional classrooms and online. And they looked at that was with more an issue with the COVID-19 pandemic. Remote learning has advanced in critical component of education, as students with disabilities may be homebound due to medical reasons or future school closures, as in the COVID-19 pandemic. Conclusion. Individuals with disabilities signify the most diverse minority in the world. Until now, the learning results for them has been dismal. Gradually, learners with disabilities are less likely to finish elementary and high school. They have poorer outcomes regarding fundamental literacy skills and are more prone to be economically poor. Students with learning disabilities have had trouble with completing classroom assignments outside of the school. Students with learning disabilities experience a technological gap, whether it's because devices or access to the internet. The disadvantage of school age students in low income families is a need for high speed or more aptly broadband internet or appropriate electronic devices. Teachers across the United States have had to suddenly navigate the digital divide and the homework gap while shifting to remote learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Regrettably, many teachers struggle to reach their students, let alone deliver quality education and support for their students' social, emotional, and behavioral needs. Finally, the stresses of the workload on instructional delivery can push teachers beyond their limits. Nevertheless, blended learning can make instruction effective, efficient, and consistent in the school and at home.